Okay. Hi, this is LaDonna, and I'm with And She Saw Stars. I'm trying to clean up the phone a bit. Um, I'm here at the Huntington Gardens or whatever, and I'm doing some note taking, and some letter writing. It's I think the 25th of April, and it's a beautiful day. And I'm sitting in the sort of like the early gardens just outside of where the gift shops are. I've been coming here for the past couple days, and I'm going to be here probably all week into the weekend, just coming to be out in nature. And I do readings. I've been looking for a job lately. It's been a bit difficult, even as a student. I was in the military, and I have tons of stuff going on with that. And I have a blog that I've been updating on Carbon Made. It's www.carbonmade.com. And I also have andshesawstars.com. So that's A-N-D, she, S-H-E, saw, S-A-W, stars, S-T-A-R-S.com. And on those blogs, you can find information of me and what's going on. I've been experiencing a lot of racism, and a lot of racism has been going on in Arizona, where I was at, where I had difficulties, but also here in LA, California. A lot of people feel that they are entitled to your conversation and to your areas and environments, and they are not. Is mainly a lot of discrimination against people of color, women, and women who are people of color, and also discrimination against youth. Okay, people who look young. It is assumed that you have to be old, aged, and wrinkled in order to go around and have access to places. No one really knows what the aged and old really have as far as income or resources or assets. Just because someone looks old does not mean that they have it going on. Okay? And just because someone is young doesn't mean that they are upstart and some sort of riffraff off the street. That's a lot of the prejudice I've been experiencing, especially in the veterans areas, the veteran affairs, and the VA hospital. A lot of the people there are like dirt old, and I'm going to say dirt old. And it's not to be funny, but it is to sort of make a point that as a youth or young looking person going through, I'm often discriminated against and then stereotyped, assumed that I'm just sort of wandering around, whatever. And these people who can barely move, look like they're on some sort of oxygenated whatever, are assumed to be okay to be there. That's erroneous and obviously discriminatory. I did run into a situation at the VA hospital that proved to be racist, and I'm sort of battling that. I will talk about that in another video. But what I will talk about on this video is that I did a reading here, and just started to get back into my roots, and also I'm looking for a job, doing readings, and I'm really great at that. I'm also an engineer, so I'm great at that. I am off from school where I'm doing design. I'm taking a break to sort of work on my VA issues. It led to this long time down where I'm sort of doing this sort of pulling things together with the veterans, and then also deciding what I want to do in between as someone who just got out of the military, still sort of, I don't know, coming back into some sort of civilian life, which is no small feat by any means. But also is it's sort of like a big thing that's going on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is talk about this tarot that I'm using here, and it's called the White Sage Tarot. Okay, it's a great deck, and I bought it at Alexandria too, in Pasadena, California. It's on Lake Street, okay, Lake Avenue likely, and it's cross streets at Colorado. Now, when you go there, it's a great store. It has a lot of diversity there, but there's tons of discrimination there. I don't see any black folk there, and one Latino person does not make a integrated location. I don't want to be part of some sort of foot in the door or whatever, get black folks there. And I do know, and I have a friend who used to work there who's black, and that is Corey Roberts, and he is a great astrologer, reader, metaphysician, and that type of thing. And he probably, if he ever saw this video, he probably laughed. And I'm trying to get a job there, yes, doing readings. And if you read this or see this video, I hope that I'm not wrong about the story. My impressions are that it's very discriminatory, and I don't know if it's against people who look clean cut, meaning like someone who might be military, non-metaphysical, and so there's a discriminatory thing about that, or if there's a discrimination about you are too spiritual looking and you are too spiritual, or you are into these cards and you are not into me. It's a lot of like they don't look necessarily stereotype metaphysician or new age people, but they do border on what I consider to be discriminatory, sort of, I'm going to say, they are not kind in the store, not as much as I would like. I've asked for a job, and like a couple times to fill out the application, and I have said, on the application I'm military. I don't know that that is really the case, but you never know. Okay, bottom line is I'm still looking to work there. I'm great. They haven't even taken up my offer of doing a free reading or whatever, just so you can check me out. Okay, I know I rock it. Now it could be that store is not for me, and that is true, and it's in a better place where I will do readings, like another metaphysical bookstore, or doing readings online, which is sort of lucrative if you really want. Okay, now this deck here, the White Sage Tarot, which I bought from the store, is great. It was maybe $20, something like that, less than, and it's a nice size. It's maybe 3x4, and it's easy to work with. The artwork is amazing. I'll show this. Okay, this is how I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna just sort of show maybe 2 or 3 cards, and I will show this one. And I really love the colors. It looks like pencil has been used. There's maybe also a possibility of pastels. That's really great, and the color schemes are very calming and soothing. Working with the deck is fairly easy. You have to be a little bit more than beginning when it comes to working with the decks. It's because it's a tall deck. It's a full set, major and minor arcana, and that means a lot of it's not easy, small deck when it comes to doing a shuffle. If you want something that's easy to do a shuffle, you might want to only use the major arcana cards, and then you can shuffle it and get into it. You don't have to do it that way. You can sort of lay the cards out and get your cards that way. But the way I worked it was doing a shuffle, and what came out was very beautiful. And if you're nervous about working with cards, this is a great deck to sort of use if you're a little bit like on the intermediate, a little bit beyond beginner. This is because you have to really feel, you have to move beyond the classic titles of the card into what you really believe these cards might mean, irregardless of what might be ascribed to the card by text. I've been doing readings, let's see, at least 20 years working with cards. My first deck was the Voyager Tarot that I bought, and it was a really big thing to do. The first one I really worked with was the Tarot by Matthews, the Arthurian Tarot. That was the first one I took classes on, but the Voyager Tarot was my first deck. It's a great deck, and it's very much into art, and I am into art. If you're into art and not necessarily doing readings, this is a great deck to get for that. And I will show you, can you not put these on your wall as some form of decoration, into some form of collage work, into some form of maybe on a card holder that sort of holds the image next to another image, or some pebble stone decorative I don't know, idea, interpretation, abstract artwork that is on your vestibule, or I will say your kitchenette or dinette, and china cabinet, or even next to your Bible, is very much, is this not also a possible great bookmark that you can use? Something you just grab and then you have a bit of art there. I would look into that. The thing with tarot is a lot of fear, and I am sort of talking about stereotypes. There's a lot of fear about tarot, or using or doing the devil or whatever, and that type of stuff. That's a bunch of bullcrap. When you are supposedly looking into, you're doing what I would consider some sort of a bit of a reflective moment, a meditation, similar to if you were to sit with the Bible and sort of say, I'm going to look and see what is reflected about me, and in this verse, or in this artwork, or in this piece. Everything is oracular in nature. Everything is telling everyone about what they need to know about themselves. All they have to do is let go of their fear and get into what it's saying and what is being said. And then you will see the God, the creator, or you, or nature, or whatever it is that you believe or don't believe in is talking. And you listen, and there it is for you. And so I am of the mind that I like doing readings. I don't know, I just love the art, and I love seeing what other people come up with, and I love learning more about me, what's going on. And this time when I did the reading, I did it for just the environment, and something came up. It was very beautiful, about nature, and in turn it was about me. And so and I learned something from that. So I would highly recommend the White Sage Tarot for many things. It's a beautiful tarot, a beautiful art deck. If you collect art, it's there. If you're into books, it's there. If you're into making art from art, it's there. And if you're into doing anything nouveau that hasn't been mentioned here, you can do that as well. I believe in sharing information, and I do believe in getting outside where I can. And this is my first time sort of doing something outside in a park setting. And I am getting into my blog again after a horrific ordeal that I will likely detail in future blogs. And it will be very interesting to see what comes. It's also very sad. But there's a lot of horrors going on in the world, and so mine is likely of that, you know. So we will see what comes from that. But I recommend White Sage Tarot. I recommend going to Pasadena. I, of course, recommend the Huntington, gardens, as if I would not talk about that. It is already here. You can see it on backdrop everywhere. It's too beautiful. And memberships are very reasonable. It's open for students and, of course, military, I do know they have student rates, and I do know they have life memberships, and I've been coming here for a super long time, and the gift shop is beyond amazing. They had the Octavia Butler exhibit maybe 6 months ago that rocked. And if you're into science fiction, you're into Octavia Butler, if you're into names, and you're into the future from the past and these views of the future from the past, and you're into women of color, into women writers, into writers, period, into writers who are women, and etc., or into women who have their shows at the Huntington, this would be a great place to come. And when you come, you're very much welcome. You can come and do a tour. You can be here inconspicuous, like myself, in the shade, and sort of do some writing as a student. And you can think about fashion, which I've been doing, and you can also think about your life. And then you can have a snack. Their cafe, which I dined at yesterday, is great. They have the most amazing cookie. It's coconut, right? And it's like $3. And I mentioned the price just so you have like an idea. You're out here as a student and youth, which I believe this is a call for like youth to unite and come out here and see what it's like as a single being here. Not attached with your parents, not attached with your school, not attached with your husband, not attached with your wife, not attached with your bestie, and not attached with your enemy or whatever. Just come here and experience the park if you want. But if you experience the grounds, that's even better. And then surely to become a member of the Huntington. And if you go to the gift shop, I recommend a very deep look. They have the most amazing jewelry selection ever. And I don't want to give away my inside trades as a fashion designer here, but I will say you will not be regretful if you come, no matter what your industry is. Okay? Now, we're not going to talk about more on the shop. I can do that later. I do that with And She Saw Stars when I go to Comic Cons and expos and I talk about the trends. They have some of the cutting edge of trends here for your home, your office, and your persona, your persona on your person. That would be great. Alright, so this is LaDonna. I'm totally gonna wrap it up now, and hopefully you will enjoy this. I posted on my YouTube channel, which is And She Saw Stars, AndSheSawStars.com, and you can check it out there and see. And then you can go to my website, carbonmate.com, which you can find me under LaDonna Davis, okay, or And She Saw Stars. And then I have a site on its own that's AndSheSawStars.com, and that's great. And there you can see my blog. I haven't posted since November because I've been really doing this VA battle, and that's Veteran Affairs for those who do not know. And when I come back, which I am, I will have some letters to post. You can see some of my things I went through on the Carbon Made website, and it's very candid. I am a writer. And if you go to AndSheSawStars.com, you also see I'm a bit of a journalist, and that's just the nature of the game when you write. Not everyone's happy about your word, except for God and your heart. So the best to you. For those of you who are maybe in Ireland, some of my friends, yes, I used to live in the UK. I wish you all the best. Okay? Alright, and this is for those of you who are in Detroit. I love you. Your Davies, your McQueens, and some of my Presleys, and some of your Youngs. May you always be blessed. Good day. Okay, this is LaDonna. Okay, goodbye. God bless.